I had a stomach infection during the summer, and I was alone in a little cottage, like a summer house, and yeah, I wasn't really able to get up for multiple days. I was suffering, and I thought about it multiple times to watch porn, but each time I resisted, I felt a little bit stronger. I felt a little bit better, and so yeah, it's not worth giving in to these physical demands of the mind, even if it's like an unfixable problem that is going to last for a longer period of time. Throughout my journey of coaching people and my own experience, I found three main sources for urges. The first is coming from emotions, specifically the numbness of emotions. Maybe you could call it stress, because people use this blanket term called stress, but it's really the fact that you can't really sense what you're feeling. You don't have the emotion, but it's a negative emotion, and there's an overwhelming amount of it because you don't know how to deal with it. That's why so many articles are about how to reduce stress. Well, stress is an overwhelm of negative emotions, and an emotion that is bottled up and is overwhelming and is hard to resist requires coping mechanisms, and porn is a coping mechanism that a lot of people use to quote-unquote deal with stress, because when you watch porn you're not stressed, and actually after watching porn for a brief period of time you will be less stressed than normal. So it's very important to, instead of watching porn, use tools to de-stress, like meditation, journaling, working out perhaps, but mostly meditation and journaling. Those are really good. And obviously you can do your own type of meditations. I found that mindfulness meditation, focusing on your breath, works really, really well in regards of de-stressing. And especially when you finish the meditation, even if it was a shit meditation, but you still try to make it like, okay, I'm gonna count to 10 breaths without my mind wandering. And then I do this in the morning, and then I go to the toilet or whatever, and I stay in this meditative state. It's an amazing feeling. So the second big way to get an urge is from a physical discomfort. Maybe you ate too much, maybe you ate shit food, you didn't eat enough protein, something like that. Maybe you have a habit of eating when you're stressed. All of these things, and maybe tension in your body, maybe you got an injury from working out, they can cause distress in your body, and because you feel bad, your brain goes to the best tool that it can choose in order to feel really, really, really good. But your brain doesn't really comprehend this for a very short amount of time because from porn you will not feel good for long. And so from this physical discomfort type of urges, unfortunately you have to deal with them on a case-by-case basis. For example, if you ate too much, a really good thing is to drink a glass of water that you squeeze like half a lemon into. That can really, really help. If you're sick, take your whatever Wim Hof breathing, or take medicine, or whatever your preferred method is and what exactly the sickness is. And yeah, when you are suffering, sometimes you just have to get through the suffering and just kind of remind yourself that, okay, if I watch porn now, it's not gonna get any better. It's actually, I will feel worse later. It's gonna be like, I'm gonna feel a little bit better, but it's still gonna feel like shit, and then I will feel so much worse. Because if you resist an urge like that, you will feel better after resisting it. And especially as the physical discomfort ceases to exist. But this is like very rare. Maybe if you have like a stomach infection, that's a story. One of the better ways to deal with this is going to sleep. A lot of times when you're tired, your mind tends to be less controllable, and yeah, it's a nice strategy to go to sleep in those situations. I use that a lot when I'm like, hey, why am I having these random thoughts in my head about maybe watching YouTube videos, maybe watching movies, or some random porn related thoughts. Although again, they're not really happening, but I do have thoughts about other stuff like that. And it's like, I think I'm just exhausted, so I'm gonna take a short nap, like 6 minutes, 20 minutes, something like that. And after that, I feel just so much better. And hey, sometimes it's like 1.5 hour, sleeping, a whole sleep cycle. For 1.5 hours I sleep because I'm just that exhausted. And yeah, the third way to get an urge is to be low on dopamine. What that means is after you watch YouTube videos, not like this, but the ones where are like Mr. Beast, he puts all of those effects and everything to maximize your dopamine levels and for you to watch as long as possible. So that is kind of like a drug. So the longer you watch, the more dopamine hits you get, the lower the normal level of dopamine gets in your body. So let's say you watch one Mr. Beast video, maybe your dopamine baseline, that's what it's called a dopamine baseline, it decreases by about, let's say, 1%. But if you watch like 20 videos, you will decrease your dopamine baseline by 20%. And so you will feel 20% worse off because you will need that dopamine. Here's how it works. You have this baseline, let's say here, and then you have the spike. And then your dopamine baseline goes back lower than it was. And then your brain thinks, hey, I need to make my dopamine baseline higher. I need to feel better. I'm not feeling that good feeling that I just felt before when I had the spike. So it comes to the very illogical conclusion that, hey, I felt that spike for about, 30 seconds. Let's repeat that. And so you watch another video, you get another spike, and the baseline goes even lower. And the same is true for porn, by the way. If you watch porn for the first time in your life, you're gonna get an amazing spike, and then it's gonna get lower. And however, with porn, and the same is true for like YouTube videos by Mr. Beast, for example. Like if you watch one Mr. Beast video, it's gonna feel relatively okay. But if you watch like 10, the number 10 video isn't gonna feel as exciting as the first one. Because each time the dopamine spike gets smaller and smaller, it gets less exciting. And this is how porn is becoming so unrealistic now, because we have all these different types of genres that are evolving because the people are in need of something else, because their dopamine spikes are super small and they're still expecting to feel good from porn. And therefore the makers of porn movies, the producers, they are relying on another mechanism, which is like excitement or fear response, which is like basically triggers a little bit of an adrenaline boost. And with that, you will feel like this extra wave of excitement that is not related to dopamine. That's why so many violent videos are popular on these different porn sites, because now dopamine and just watching people having sex is not enough. Now the viewers need more because they've been completely addicted. At least some of them, obviously not everybody who watches porn is addicted to porn, but a lot of them are addicted to porn. And so they need more. They need more stuff, more excitement, more adrenaline in order to compensate for their addict mind not being able to make the huge spike that it used to make. Because maybe when they started watching porn, it felt amazing just to watch a normal vanilla video. But now they have to watch this whatever disgusting, gross, whatever animated videos that they get the adrenaline hit from next to the dopamine hit in order to get that spike. And the saddest thing is, unfortunately, that their baseline dopamine is just completely gone at that point. They are probably very unhappy and very unsatisfied and are stagnating in life. Yeah. And the situation gets even worse, because if you have a porn addiction and you're not stagnating in life, that probably means you're meant to do a lot better, a lot more. Because even with your dopamine, even with your satisfaction, your motivation gone, you're still able to achieve stuff at a decent level, at an average level. And in that case, it's like you're meant to do like probably 10 times more. You're probably meant to be 10 times more of a person that you are right now. The problem is that you're numbing yourself with these kind of habits, such as watching porn, look, the same is true for watching reels. It's not an exclusive issue with porn. The situation in the modern world is that porn is the biggest dopamine boost you can get. It's the most universal. It's kind of fires up the whole brain. And when you watch like TikToks and Instagrams, they are still addictive. They are still very dangerous. However, they are more localized in the brain, so it's like not as dangerous as watching porn. And being hooked on Instagram isn't as dangerous as being hooked on, let's say, one of the porn sites or OnlyFans sites, something like that. Yeah. I don't know why I just ranted. Oh, it was because I was writing a book. Yeah. So I need to write this down. But I don't have time right now because I have to go to the gym. Today is rest day, but it's very important for me, and I observe this with everyone else. If you are implementing a new good habit, to do it every day. And so even if it's a rest day, I'm going to the gym. There is a sauna there. I'm gonna head out and check that out, and I'm gonna do some core exercises and some stretches, just because I need the habit to stick. And unfortunately, the sauna closes in about 2 hours, so I gotta run. Yeah, the book has to wait. But it will get done. It will get done eventually. Alright guys, catch you in the gym.
Yo, check 1, check 2. Wanna rob me? Hold tight you. Open a boot. Whack man up, go home, play Xbox, drink Thai food. Bare waist man wanna diss my tune. Same waist man wanna live in my shoes. See me spitting bare deep bars on YouTube. Now they wanna try to diss me, but you don't know me though. Heard my bars on the Roll Deep show. Now I'm so much better like Snacky though. You're a jackass just like Steve-O. Wanna know about me? Here we go. Half Yoruba, half Evo. I would ask you to pay attention, but you ain't got no pedo. I'm going to damage your ego. Wanna run down BMX like Debo. Run up in your house, punch in the face.
Just got a new client today. And with every new person I'm able to help, the more competent I become at helping the general public with their relationship with porn. Help them quit porn. Yeah, so I'm really grateful for that.